Welcome back, mobile gamers. My name is NimbleThor, and throughout the next 5 minutes, I will be going over the 5 best mobile games I played last week, including a new open-world fantasy MMORPG, a mobile port of my favorite childhood game, a new competitive online shooter with no pay-to-win, finally, a fantastic match-3 RPG game, and a collectible card game set in the Elderscrolls universe. If these types of videos sound up your street, consider getting acquainted with those subscribe and like buttons, and be sure to stick around till the end of the video for my favorite game of the week. And with that said, let's just get started. The Elderscrolls Legends is a high-quality digital collectible card game, not unlike Hearthstone, where we collect cards and we set up decks to compete in single-player and multiplayer matches. Now, this game has a 2-lane playing field where each lane has a unique attribute, which adds a very nice tactical layer to these matches, and the many attributes and special abilities of each card make them feel distinctly different from each other, which I did appreciate as well. There's a ton of single-player content in this game, but most of it has to be unlocked through in-app purchases, and new card packs sell at $4 for just 12 new cards, which is insanely expensive, and have caused some people to argue that this game is pay to win, a bit like Hearthstone really. The game requires online access, it takes up 2 GB of space, it's available both on Android and on iOS, and my verdict on the game is that if you find Hearthstone a bit too pay to win but enjoy collectible card games, then definitely take the Elderscrolls Legends for a spin. Pocket Tanks is a trajectory shooter slash artillery game, originally released on PC all the way back in 2001, and the mobile version has actually been able for a few years as well, but I just never really included it here, which is a real shame as it's one of my favorite games of all time. If for some reason you have never played the game before, you can look forward to both single player, same device multiplayer, local Wi-Fi multiplayer, and online multiplayer, but the real fun comes from the over 300 crazy weapons we can unlock in this game. They're absolutely amazing. So when you download this free game, it includes the first 100 weapons, with the rest then unlocked through either buying a $5 deluxe version of the game or buying the weapon packs individually for $1 each. And I mean, I get it, I am kind of nostalgic about this game, but trust me guys, despite my bias, this game is just a ton of fun and you should definitely check it out. The game is offline playable, it only takes up 58 MB of space, so you should be able to play it on any potato or smartphone really. It has been out on both Android and iOS for ages already, and if you like artillery shooters, then definitely give Pocket Tanks a go. It's super fun to win against the AI, but it feels even better to completely obliterate your friends, so make sure to check out the local multiplayer as well if you do download Pocket Tanks. Laplace Mobile, or actually Tales of the Wind, as I very recently learned that it will be called here in the West, is a new open-world MMORPG featuring a ton of content, such as, for example, instant boss fights, arenas, escort missions, quests, crafting, player-to-player auction house, and just a ton more of that type of content. The game has a very distinct combat system, which reminded me of an action RPG mixed in with some mobile-like elements, and the core gameplay experience feels a lot like Ragnarok Mobile if you guys have played that game, although Laplace only takes up 1.7 GB of space in comparison to Ragnarok's whopping 5 GB. At its current stage, the English translation in Laplace isn't exactly flawless, and the auto combat system may discourage some players, but the monetization is actually relatively relaxed, and we can acquire premium currency for free by simply selling in-game currency to other players in exchange for this premium currency, a bit like the World of Warcraft tokens introduced by Blizzard. Laplace isn't exactly hardcore, and it's definitely not an old-school MMORPG, but it is actually one of the better modern MMORPGs I've played recently, with everything that comes with that, both for better and worse. The game requires online access, it takes up 1.75 GB of space, it's available in a few countries on Android and iOS, and will fully release in April this year, and if you've been looking for a new MMORPG to really dive into, then Laplace Mobile will offer more than enough content for hundreds of hours of gameplay, so be sure to give it a go. Dragons and Diamonds. Apart from apparently having a name that I can hardly pronounce without putting on a heroic voice, and shut up, that is my heroic voice. It's a match-3 RPG puzzle game by the Subway Surfers developer Kiloo, where we fight near endless levels of monsters and use the rewarded gold and hero cards to level up our team of heroes. As someone who've never really liked match-3 games, the RPG progression in this game kept me interested, and as opposed to all the Candy Crush-like match-3 games out there, we don't simply move diamonds around on a board, instead dragging to connect them in as long as line as possible, and then release that to have one of our heroes charge the enemy with an attack. Now, on one hand, I was very pleasantly surprised to see that there were no wait time loot boxes, but gold is still very scarce in this game, and there is an energy system that will limit our play session length with this game, and new cards can actually also be bought directly through in-app purchases, which, although stopping already at $25 does add some sort of pay to progress faster advantage. Talking purely about the core gameplay experience though, to my big surprise, I actually ended up really liking this game. It can be played offline, it takes up 205 MB of space, it's available on Android and on iOS, and if you you also enjoy match-free RPGs, then consider checking out Dragons and Diamonds, and if you don't like the monetization, then check out indie game Troll Patrol instead, which has a bit of the same feel, but a much better monetization. And lastly, Armajet is this week's really big surprise. It's a 2.5D online arena shooter with no pay to win whatsoever, cross-platform play on PC, Android, and iOS, and a friend and clan system allowing us to create custom matches as well, all of which helps make this game pretty much the perfect competitive platform shooter. Even though we only start out with 3 weapons in this game, the rest of them are unlocked through progression instead of in-app purchases, and the in-app purchases that do exist in the game focus purely on cosmetic items with no impact on the actual gameplay. Even on mobile, the controls actually work surprisingly well in Armajet, but a jetpack allowing us to fly in air for a limited period of time did make the controls take some time to get used to. The developers seem very responsive though, and they're really engaged with the community, and I actually think that this game will really take off once it has fully released. The game requires online access, it takes up 727 megabytes of space, it's in beta on both Android and iOS, and if it is available in your country and you enjoy competitive shooters, then you should definitely check out Armajet, as it's my favorite game of the week. Oh, you're still here. Would you look at that? You're one of the 10% who actually made it till the end of the video. Thank you very much. Congratulations. I will probably leave you a cookie in the comment section if you leave a comment saying the word Cookie Monster. So if you do that, I'll leave you guys a cookie. And most importantly, until next time, just keep gaming, stay awesome, and I'll see you guys around.